Hey there. This is my third day of doing video journals, and I just came back from the gym, and I really did not want to go to the gym today. It was one of those days where I was just so tired, and I was so exhausted from these last few days. Really, these last 2 months have been really not stressful, but a bit overwhelming. I just finished my master's program back in December, like late December, and I'm just exhausted from that, and I had so many projects to complete for work, and I just had a lot going on. And so I think my body had just stored all of that exhaustion. And I still feel tired, even though I've rested. I feel like I need to rest more because I'm just so tired. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm not going to go on a ramble about these last 2 months. Maybe that's a video for another day, but I wanted to make this video because as I was driving to the gym, I was thinking to myself that in life we have to do the hard things. We have to do things that we don't want to do, but that we know will benefit us in the long run. In the case of me, I'm going to the gym not to look fit or not to get toned, but because I have a dream of climbing Mount Whitney and of climbing Cotopaxi, which is a volcano in Ecuador, and climbing Mount Everest base camp, and of climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. And I have all these dreams of all these mountains I want to climb because I love hiking. But I have to put in the work, and I have to do the hard things in order for me to achieve my goals. And I have to motivate myself to do things I don't want to do in order for me to get prepared for that journey that I will undertake in who knows how many years. So, I'm constantly trying to see where I fall short. And I definitely fall short in the motivation. It's easy for me to get motivated, but it's hard for me to take action. Because it's really, I get all of this inspiration, I get all of this spark for doing what I want to do, but then when it comes to actually doing it, I just freeze. And I either start and I don't finish, or I just don't start. So doing the hard things is important because it helps build resilience in a way. Because resilience is a skill that needs to be practiced. It's not something that's just bestowed on you. It's not something that you get or you're born with. It's something that you have to practice. You have to practice being resilient. And one of the ways to practice it, I have found, is by doing the things we don't want to do, doing the hard things, whether that be going to the gym or actually sitting down with yourself and being honest with yourself, or whether that be being honest with others about certain topics that you've been keeping to yourself because you're afraid to disappoint, or you're afraid of disagreement, or you're afraid of conflict, or you're afraid to not fit in. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of not speaking up. I'm guilty of not sitting myself down and being honest with myself, you know? And that's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to be honest with yourself and truly allow yourself to process whatever it is that you're going through, and actually be honest with yourself, and if what you're doing aligns with your values. So that's hard. That's hard, being honest with yourself, motivating yourself to do things that are hard. It's not easy, but I guess we have to practice that resilience muscle to prevent it from getting weak and becoming atrophied, right? So I guess my message is to not be afraid to do hard things, to not be afraid to sit with yourself and be honest with yourself. And nobody has to know that you're being honest with yourself. Like, there's nobody watching. It's just you in your room or out in nature or somewhere where you feel safe. And you just sit with yourself and you sit there in the silence and you listen. You listen to the voice that you've been trying to silence for so many years or for so long. And that's hard. That's hard because there are so many distractions. When you want to actually sit with yourself, that's when the distractions come. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. Oh, somebody just called me. And it's just crazy because it's as if life is trying to play a trick on you, and it's trying to distract you from actually sitting down with yourself and making that space for yourself. But once you make that space and you're committed to making that space for yourself, I think it gets better. I think that's when you really understand that all you can do in this world is be authentic as you can. And it's hard. It's not easy. But we got to do it, and we got to do the hard things. We got to exercise and eat healthy and go out more. Like, by going out, I mean being out in nature and living in a city. Sometimes it's hard to carve out that time to go out in nature and be out, but it really helps. And studies have shown that it really boosts your mood because we are nature. And I think going back to nature allows us to go back to our source, allows us to connect back to our source, allows us to connect to who we really are, which is stillness and part of nature. We are nature itself. And sometimes we forget, we separate ourselves from nature. But anyway, I'm going on a ramble. That's a video for a different day. That's a topic for a different day. But doing the hard things is important. So let's not be afraid. Let's have the courage to do hard things and to build that resilience muscle, to build that courage muscle, and to build that perseverance muscle. So I hope you're able to do hard things in your life and you're rewarded for that. I hope that you're able to grow and thrive in so many ways in your life, and I hope that you find your inner peace. Take care. Peace. See you next time.